Hey everybody, what's happening? It's Thursday. I'm in the recording studio again. Where else would I be? If I'm not on the road, I'm in here. So, here's the deal. Many of you have expressed to me how you really enjoy these demonstration videos. Okay, so I was a little bit wrong. I didn't figure anybody would care to watch this stuff, but I'm going to keep doing them as long as you enjoy them. So, I'm really fortunate to be able to work with some talented people. Right now, I'm in the middle of production on an artist. We've talked about him and posted about him before. Alvin Donaire. He's originally from the Philippines. Been living over here for about 10 years. Recently became a U.S. citizen. So, way to go, Alvin. Pretty cool. Anyway, Alvin is extremely talented, good songwriter, but he's hired me to produce him. And he doesn't play any musical instruments, but he writes songs. And that's not really all that uncommon. Some people just kind of fall into that category. So we're helping him out. This is song number 2. I want to show you what we start with. Alvin gives me a demo. I'm not sure if they're recorded in the Philippines or where they were recorded at. I'm sure he can clear that up for me. And we'll post about that later. But anyway, here's what we start with. Check this out. This is song number 2. Again, this is just a demo that Alvin provides kind of as a guideline for me to work up the arrangement.
Show me your skills, slowly lure me with it. Looking
Okay, another track just jumped in there very loudly, but you get the idea. That's the demo. Now, here's what I do with it. I start to build it. Okay, I have played all the other instruments. There may be a little bit more instrumentation yet to go, but I felt we were far enough along that it would make a good demonstration video. I play all the other instruments, and then one of my good music brothers, James Jones, who I talk about all the time, comes in and does the drums. James was here yesterday and cut the drum tracks. Killer drummer, y'all. Killer drummer. I'm fortunate. I got good drummers all around me. My drummer in my live band, Patrick Stramka. Yeah, Patrick. Really good. James Jones, just a killer beast on the drums. Trust me on this now. You got to have a good drummer. Anyway, or a couple of good drummers, right? Okay, so this is what happens next. I take that and I begin to map it out, right? Got to figure it out because Alvin can't tell me what the chords are or even what key it's in. So, no biggie. I can figure that out. I've been doing this for a long time. And I may not be an expert. I was going to say I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. That's a stupid joke. But anyway, here's the deal. Here's where we go with this. On this particular one, I moved to the acoustic guitar. Easy enough to try to chart out some basic melodic chord structure to the song. And here's what I came up with. Let's see. We'll take out Alvin's demo tracks. We'll pop in the acoustic guitar. That's obviously not acoustic guitar, that's piano. So let's go here. Acoustic guitar. And with that, you know, I sync up a metronome click so I have some sort of a timing reference to go by. Alright, so you get the idea. Acoustic guitar. Then the next thing I do is I start to put some piano. He's got a reoccurring theme in there, a signature lick. And on the demo, it's just like a one-finger piano line. And I talked to Alvin about it. I said, you know, let me incorporate some chords with that riff within, you know, we'll do that riff or a close facsimile thereof within a chordal pattern. So that's what we did next. And that is like this. Let me drop the click out so you can just hear the piano. Okay, so that reoccurs throughout the song. And when it gets into the verse, it drops down into a lower register and some kind of comps chords, and you'll hear it. I'll play the whole thing for you here if I ever can get to that point. So these videos are long. So then we have that. We have that with the acoustic guitar. Then I start wanting some orchestration, some strings and all that. So I start putting all that in. And so that comes in down the road. Let me kind of fast forward to the string parts here. I'm looking up at the other monitor. Okay, so that comes in. I'll go ahead and play those with the piano. I'll leave the acoustic guitar out. There's that signature riff. Throw the guitars back in. There's a whole bunch of string work in this song that as the song progresses, it builds. The dynamics, it should build to something. We're telling a story here. And the music track should support, lyrically, the story that Alvin's going to tell when he finally cuts his lead vocal. So, you know, you don't want to hit everybody with everything but the kitchen sink at the start of the song. You want it to be a journey. Life's a journey. A good story's a journey. So we're going to build to this climactic moment that is fantastic with all kinds of orchestration and everything. So anyway, now we're going to move on to, we've got our acoustic guitars, we've got our main piano, we've got string sections, and at this point, and I've got a scratch vocal on here. I won't play that for you because that's just not fair to Alvin. We'll wait till you'll hear him when we get his final take, his actual keeper vocal. That's down the road yet. So next thing that happened is I had James Jones come in yesterday, as I said, and put some drum tracks down. So here's what James did with some drums. Let's go back to the start of the song. And I'm going to drop everything else out so you can just kind of hear drums, and then we'll start adding some things along the way. You'll hear how it all starts to come together. Okay, so drums, let me bring those tracks in. They're over numerous tracks because a drum set has many pieces, and we like to have individual control. Bass drum, snare, toms, individual toms, room mics for ambience, and so on and so forth. So, let's see, drums. Drums, I think I've got just only drums in here. I'm trying to do this quick on the fly, and it's hard to do sometimes when they start growing like this. But anyway, here is drum tracks. So we've got the drum tracks. Let me start throwing some things in there. First thing I'll put in is some acoustic guitar. I'll put in some piano. And then I'll put the string sections in. So you can see what's going on there. So that's kind of what James had coming at him with the scratch vocal track and a metronome click, so he could keep time with it. And again, I played all those tracks. James did the drums, and we started with the demo provided by Alvin. Now, the next thing that happens today, this morning, I come in because I have drums now, and I play bass guitar. I do a bass guitar track. Let me show you how that takes place. I'm going to drop everything but the drums back out again. And let me show you what takes place there. Okay, so bass guitar and drums. So you get the idea. I'm going to start adding the other tracks back in now that we have that rhythm foundation. Okay, so we have all of that. Now, here's where it starts to get fun. Don't lose your train of thought, Todd. We jump over into some electric guitar stuff now. Alvin has expressed that he wanted kind of a haunting, wailing guitar. So I've got some stuff with some solo lines and some string bends. It'll probably get a little bit more haunting when I run it through some multi-effects processors to kind of wash it into the mix. Right now everything's very up front and forward. And that's better anyway, so that I can do this video and you can hear how this stuff comes together. So, there's two guitar parts so far that I've put on here this afternoon. One of them is more that lead line stuff, and the other thing is some picking. Almost kind of like a U2, Coldplay, you know, just kind of ethereal chordal stuff that's going to get washed in the back. It's not a lot of movement because everything else is moving. The bass line, the strings, the piano signature lick, all of that. The drums, of course. So, let's see, which one to show you first? Let me show you this, the more of a lead guitar line, the solo line. And it's throughout the whole song and really builds at the end. So let me show you how it is at the front when it first comes in. Let me locate that. I gotta look back at this other screen here. Okay, so when it comes in, actually it comes in right at the very start, I think. Okay, so here it is. And we'll just, actually, I'll just play you a little sample of that before I put it in with anything else. I apologize for the length of the video. It's kind of crazy, but it's the only way to demonstrate it because it takes quite a bit of time to show all this stuff. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't sound like a whole lot by itself, right? But the whole thing is, this is like pieces to a puzzle. Any one piece of a puzzle, if it showed you the whole thing, then what's the point of having all the other pieces, right? Okay, so they all have to complement each other. It's music, kids. It's arrangement. And it's not monkeys beating on trees, even though a lot of music these days sounds like monkeys beating on trees. talking about? Anyway, check this out now. So, okay, so that's in there. And I will play that for you at the front of the song so you can hear that. We'll add everything. Oh, man, this gets nuts. Okay, so we've got all of that. We don't want the vocal. All right, so here we are. Beginning of the tune. Okay, so it gets more complex than that, but that's where it's first introduced, okay? So like I said, as we get further into the song, it gets really intense, man. And things begin to grow and all that good stuff. So, so there's that. We've got one other guitar track at this point. Like I said, there could be more things yet. So obviously vocals are yet to come too. And that's always fun. That's the icing on the cake. There's a second guitar part that comes in, and it's more chordal. And like I said, it's kind of a U2, Coldplay kind of a thing. I don't know. Let's see what that does. Let me show you what that does. And that guitar, that particular guitar that you just heard, that's like on the front lead pickup. It's a darker kind of a sound, more of a bluesy kind of a sound. And then this guitar part is on the bridge pickup. And it's a little brighter, and it needs to be separated from that bluesier sounding guitar, so that it doesn't all just sound like a big mush, right? You got to have headroom in your frequencies, headroom in your volume, headroom, and you have to have headroom. So, let me show you this next guitar when it pops in. Here it is on its own. It's not going to sound like much, but again, I'll play it with everything. I mean, that's it, okay? It's going to have some delay on it. It'll be, within the tempo of the song. Someday we'll do a video about that, how to figure that out. Because that's a cool thing, too, that a lot of people that are at home trying to record and stuff, they don't think about these things. How do you get the tempo set for the delay repeats to work with the tempo of the song? It's pretty easy, but if you haven't done it, how do you know how to do it? So we might get to that at some point in another video. But so we have that guitar part. Let me show you what that sounds like. It's beautiful with the strings and everything. It just becomes really symphonic, and it's cool. So let me show you that. All right. So when that all comes in, we've got strings. All right, I think we're building another monster of a mix here at some point. Okay, so again, I won't do the drum intro thing. I'll just start where that first lead guitar thing comes in, and you can kind of see the transition. This is the verse, so everything kind of settles down to support the vocal. When this other guitar comes in, That's the build to the chorus. Okay, that's the turnaround before we settle into the second verse. So there you've got most of my current principles within this production. It's going to change quite a bit yet, but that gives you an idea. So we've come a long way from the start of the demo that was provided by the artist. And that's the kind of thing we can do here at Cellar Records Recording Company. And we've been doing it for decades and decades and decades and decades. I love music, kids. I never stop. So, okay, so let me play you the whole thing so you can kind of get an idea where this builds. Check it out. Let me turn the camera the phone camera, the iPhone, in a better position. Hopefully this will come across. I really hate to share audio with phone video. Shut up. You know, I hate MP3s. I like clarity. All right, so let me show you this. I think I've been in here too long. I'm getting a little bit goofy. So, it might be time for more coffee. All right, so I'm going back to the start. I'm going to show you a little bit of everything. You can kind of get an idea of what's happening, minus the vocal. Here we go. Okay, so there you go. Half-hour long video. Song number 2, Alvin Donaire. We're working on it. Hey, if you like what you just watched and what you heard, post some comments. Give us a like. Add the channel on YouTube. Yeah, I'll put it on YouTube. Add the channel on YouTube. Check out my band, The Revelators, at revelatorsrock.com. All one word, revelatorsrock.com. If you can't figure it out, Google it. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.